Hey, hello, I'm JulieJo. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I am so glad that you're here. If you're not new here, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about Avon and what's been going on with Avon and them filing Chapter 11 bankruptcy. And I just thought I'd take time to break down everything that's been happening and make it as simplified and straightforward as possible. I will have links below in the description for sources that I used for this video, by the way. So if you want to go look at that, you can. I also think it's a really important topic and discussion to have, so go ahead and leave your thoughts below in the comments. Let's get started.
It's the night that we're gonna fall in love. I don't care about you and him. I don't care about what has been. I only care about your soft skin. Cause we're still sleeping in my head. I don't care about you and him. I don't care about what has been. I only care about your soft skin. Cause we're still sleeping in my head.
I know a lot of us have heard of Avon and think makeup, but I think it's important to talk about the start and where it came from. And I'm going to do it quickly. Avon is the second largest multi-level marketing company. It is second to Amway. It was founded in 1886, so it is one of the oldest MLMs around. It was founded by David H. McConnell, who sold perfumes and originally called the company California Perfume Company because one of his business partners was from California and gave him that idea. The name was officially changed to Avon in 1939, and people see it as one of the biggest and most popular and original door-to-door multi-level marketing companies. Because believe it or not, for a long time, that is how they sold their products. I thought before we got into bankruptcy really quick, I would just cover a controversy I thought was really important to talk about, and it is the American corruption charges that Avon has had. So in 2008, there was an investigation of bribery and the violation of the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act. There were actually 4 executives in both Asia and the United States who were suspended in 2010, and they were later fired in their roles in the activities being investigated. This was pretty big when it came to how much they had to pay. So the final tally for the cost of the legal fees was about $500 million. In 2014, they settled the bribery charges for $135 million, $68 million in criminal penalties, with the remainder in interest, disgorgement, and fines from civil case brought by the SEC. I absolutely think that was terrible, and yeah, it was probably a pretty big deal for Avon considering they paid about around $500 million in legal fees. What we're about to talk about, I think, is much worse. So Avon, like I said, filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy, and it has come about that the reason they did that is because of how much they're having to spend due to lawsuits from their products that have talc in them. Just to put into perspective that Johnson & Johnson did have to pay a $6.5 billion settlement because allegedly their talc-based powder was responsible for ovarian cancer in certain people. I'm not going to go in depth in that. You can look it up. But I do think it's important to talk about that, especially because a lot of the verdicts we talk about that I'm going to mention follow what happened in a Johnson & Johnson settlement. So the reasons the lawsuits came about specifically are because of people who experience mesothelioma, which is a type of cancer, as well as ovarian cancer. They filed the bankruptcy in August of 2024. So an Avon representative indicated that the bankruptcy filing and proposed sale of the company's non-US operations will allow it to address its talc liabilities. Another quote from this same article is, and this is from mesothelioma.net, by the way, the company's bankruptcy filing indicates that it will address its liabilities to malignant mesothelioma and ovarian cancer victims who blame its talc for the illness in an orderly manner. In short, the reason that they file bankruptcy is because of how much money they're shilling out for all of the legal fees. There is around 386 talc-related lawsuits specifically for malignant mesothelioma and ovarian cancer. 386 talc-related lawsuits between someone and Avon. That is a lot. People have said that the asbestos in the talc has been one of the biggest issues. However, overall, it is talc-related. And for me to see the number 386 lawsuits specifically for this reason, focused on mesothelioma and ovarian cancer, brings a big red flag to the table. I don't know about you, but that is a ton of lawsuits focused on 2 certain kinds of cancer. This, in my opinion, is a big issue. I think that if there were a few that you could write them off as, oh my gosh, that's sad that this person has experienced cancer, but there's not like a really big red flag that it's related to our products. But there's 386 around there, maybe more by now. That's a lot. I want to go through 3 different lawsuits and the big payout these people got because of it. And I'm gonna read what I wrote down about it because I don't wanna get anything wrong. So in December of 2022, Avon paid $50 million to an Arizona woman who was diagnosed with cancer after she used cosmetic products that contained talc, which was tainted with asbestos. This person received $50 million in Arizona in 2022. Moving on to July of 2024, so a month ago, a Chicago area man worked as a janitor at Avon, a manufacturing plant in Illinois, and was awarded $24 million by a jury after he was diagnosed with mesothelioma. My guess is malignant mesothelioma. And a California jury awarded a 76-year-old woman diagnosed with mesothelioma $52.1 million. And like I said earlier, this verdict follows the J&J settlement. And while these people were awarded millions of dollars, as they should have been, I'm sure they would rather have not experienced cancer. And those are just three pretty recent ones specifically of the lawsuits of 386. So there's 383 more out there, at least, allegedly, from what I have read and dug through sources. This is a really important discussion to have, especially in the comments. I want to see what y'all have to say. Look through the sources, look up stuff on your own as well. I'm also going to list a source from Avon specifically, and it is a press release addressing the debt and legacy liabilities in the US court process. You can read through that. So this is what they're saying about it. The API's chairperson said in this article, and you can go look at it, it's not very long. So he starts off by saying today's action, and he's talking specifically about non-US operations and selling them. He says, and the proposed sale of Avon's non-US operations will maximize the value of our assets and enable us to address our obligations in an orderly manner. And specifically, he's talking from what I know and what I've read about these lawsuits. And it's going to free them up millions of dollars to be able to pay and also be able to deal with legal fees going forward. This is a big deal. And a lot of time on my channel, I like to laugh. I like to hee ha ha about things. I also like to be serious. I like to cover important topics. I cover dangerous people, not just MLMs, and I cover cults, and I get into important things like that. But a lot of times in MLM stuff, we can hee ha ha because of how ridiculous it is. This is not one of those times. This is very important. People are experiencing horrible things like cancer, and it could very well be from Avon products. I want to give you a source to use if you are worried, or if you have any questions in general. This is a phone number that you can call and talk to them about. It says you can contact 1-800-692-8608. That is the phone number for the patient advocates at mesothelioma.net. They're there to help you. You can ask questions. You can talk to them if you're worried specifically about mesothelioma, cancer, and Avon products. Or if you have questions in general, like I've already mentioned, feel free to use that number to contact them. I will list it below as well. I am going to continue to watch how this unfolds and hopefully be able to cover it more in the future with better answers, because a lot of what I said right now is alleged for the most part. The important question for us to ask ourselves is, are these products worth it? I mean, MLM products in general are known to be kind of Some are good, a lot are not very good. And even with a trusted name like Avon, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how much the company says they love you or you mean to them. They really just want to sell you products and don't care about you. In my opinion, MLM companies don't care if you get cancer from their products as long as you're purchasing it. They don't care if the products make you sick. And while I think companies would say, yes, we do, the way that these companies go about it is, just ridiculous. And tons of gaslighting happen. But specifically, the biggest thing that shows me that they don't care is they don't hold their distributors accountable for the lies, deceit, and false medical claims that they share about these products. While they might say in our policy and procedures, it says this, that they can't share that. Well, they're doing it. They're saying these things that it can do this, it can do this, it can do this, or this is safe, this is safe, this is safe. But in reality, they don't know, and they should not be saying those things. But the companies will not hold them liable. Why? Because they're selling products and the company's making money. Anyway, before I go super long-winded, I just wanted to talk about that briefly, and I want to hear your thoughts below. If you enjoyed the video, hit the thumbs up button. If you want to support my channel for free, simply subscribe. I would appreciate that. Thanks for being here. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you next time. Bye.
Show you what I'm all about. Make up for what we lost. Tonight is the night that we're gonna fall in love. I don't care about you and him. I don't care about what has been. I only care about yours.